Sri Sai Satcharitra, The Wonderful Life and Teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba, a modern rendering. Chapter 15. The readers may remember that in Chapter 6, mention was made about the Ramanavami festival in Shirdi, how the festival originated, how in the early years it was difficult to get good singers for kirtan, and how Baba permanently entrusted this function to Das Ganu. Now in this chapter, we shall describe the manner in which Das Ganu was performing kirtan. Das Ganu changes his clothes. Generally, kirtan singers wear elaborate dress. They put on a headdress or turban, a long flowing coat with a shirt inside, a cloth on their shoulders, and the usual long dhoti from the waist below. Dressed in this fashion, Das Ganu went to bow to Baba. Baba asked, "Well, bridegroom, where are you going dressed so beautifully?" "To perform kirtan." Baba said, "Why do you want all this paraphernalia? Coat and turban and all that before me? Why wear them on the body?" Das Ganu immediately took them off and placed them at Baba's feet. From that time on, Das Ganu never wore these things while singing kirtan. He was always bare from waist up, with a pair of chiplis in his hand and a garland around his neck. This is not the traditional practice by kirtan singers, but this is the best and purest method. The sage Narada, from whom kirtan originated, wore nothing on his trunk and head. He carried a veena in his hand and wandered from place to place, everywhere singing the glory of the Lord. Sugarless tea in a pilgrimage to Shirdi. Initially, Baba was known in Pune and Ahmednagar districts, but Nana Sahib's personal talks and Das Ganu's splendid kirtans spread Baba's fame to Mumbai. In fact, it was Das Ganu, may God bless him, who, by his beautiful and outstanding kirtans, made Baba available to so many people there. Audiences who come to kirtans have different tastes. Some like the erudition of the kirtan leader, some like his gestures, some his singing, some his wit and humor, some his dissertation on Vedanta, and some like his stories, and so on. There are very few who by hearing kirtan get faith and devotion or love of God or of the saints. The effect of hearing Das Ganu's kirtans on the minds of an audience, however, was electric. We give an instance of it here. Das Ganu was performing kirtan, singing the glory of Sai Baba in the Kupineshwar temple in Thana. Mr. Cholkar, a poor man serving in the civil courts in Thana, was among the audience. He listened to Das Ganu's kirtan most attentively and was very moved. There and then he mentally bowed to Baba. "Baba, I am a poor man, unable to support my family. If by your grace I pass the departmental examination and get a permanent post, I shall go to Shirdi, fall at your feet and distribute sugar candy in your name." Mr. Cholkar did pass the examination and did get a permanent post. Now it remained for him to fulfill his vow, the sooner the better. Mr. Cholkar was a poor man with a large family to support. he could not afford to pay for the expenses of a Shirdi trip. As is well said, one can easily cross over Nane Ghat, but it is very difficult for a poor man to cross over the threshold of his own house. As Mr. Cholkar was anxious to fulfill his vow as early as possible, he resolved to economize, cut down his expenses, and save money. He determined not to use sugar in his diet and began to take his tea without it. After he was able to save some money in this way, he came to Shirdi. He had Baba's darshan, fell at his feet, offered a coconut, and distributed it with a clear conscience along with the sugar candy as per his vow. He told Baba that he was very happy with his darshan and that his desires were fulfilled that day. Mr. Cholkar was in the masjid with his host, Bapu Sahib Jog. When the host and the guest both got up and were about to leave the masjid, Baba said to Jog, "Give him cups of tea, fully saturated with sugar." Hearing these significant words, Mr. Cholkar was moved and wonderstruck. His eyes filled with tears, and he fell at Baba's feet again. Jog was curious about this direction to give tea to his guest. Baba wanted to create faith and devotion in Mr. Cholkar's mind. He hinted about the sugar candy as per Mr. Cholkar's vow, and that he knew full well Mr. Cholkar's secret determination not to use sugar in his diet. Baba said, "If you spread your palms with devotion before me, I am immediately with you, day and night. Though my body is physically here, still I know what you do, beyond the 7 seas. Wherever you go over the wide world, I am with you. My abode is in your heart, and I am within you. Always worship me, who is seated in your heart, as well as in the hearts of all beings. Blessed and fortunate indeed is he who knows me in this way." What a beautiful and important lesson Baba imparted to Mr. Cholkar. 2 lizards reunite in Shirdi. Now we will close this chapter with a story of 2 little lizards. Once Baba was sitting in the masjid with a devotee sitting in front of him when a lizard ticked. Out of curiosity, the devotee asked Baba whether this ticking of the lizard signified anything. Was it a good sign or a bad omen? Baba said the lizard was overjoyed as her sister from Aurangabad was coming to see her. The devotee sat silent, not understanding the meaning of Baba's words. Immediately, a gentleman from Aurangabad came on horseback to see Baba. He wanted to proceed further, but his horse would not go, as it was hungry. He lifted a bag of grain on his shoulders and dashed it on the ground. A lizard came out from the bag, and in the presence of all, climbed up the wall. Baba asked the devotee who asked about the lizard to notice the well. The lizard went strutting to her sister at once. Both sisters, meeting each other after a long time, kissed, embraced each other, and whirled around and danced with love. Where is Shirdi and where is Aurangabad? How could the man on horseback come from Aurangabad to Shirdi with the lizard? And how should Baba make the prophecy of the meeting of the 2 sisters? All this is really very wonderful and proves the omniscience, the all-knowing nature of Baba. Whoever respectfully reads this chapter or studies it daily will have all his miseries removed by the grace of the Sadguru, Sai Baba. Pranams to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.
You've been listening to a modern rendering of Hemadpant's The Sri Sai Satcharitra, the wonderful life and teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba, edited and narrated by Monika Penukonda. For more content like this online, please go to divinelineage.org, SaiFamily.org, and peacefires.org. To learn more about Monika, please go to MonikaPenukonda.org.